Okay, here's where we're at right now. Now this stuff is just like set in place, kind of a mock-up kind of deal. That's what I ended up having to do to retain the stock steering system. And you got to think about mounting. In the rear back here, I got really lucky, and I had the two front factory mounting points right here. That after that, everything was easy. This part back here, you can't really see it from this angle, but there's a, hold on just a second. Okay, there's a threaded rod, or you could just use steel. I use threaded rod because I happen to have a bunch of it laying around, that goes through the two rear mounting points for the rear subframe assembly. And those, if you look close, you can see I've just got those held in place with zip ties on both sides, but it's fine. Everything's nice and secure, and it's not going to go anywhere. And if I ever need to take this out, I've got two screws and clip two zip ties, and the whole frame assembly comes out. Now here, it's a little different. Up here, I also had to think about what's missing. So I think, I'm not sure, I'm going to have to make up some kind of plate to go underneath it, across here. And if I do that, I can probably, there's two screws in here. Well, there's here and here. I've got screw holes that I could use that are like factory mounting points to mount it in the back. In the front, though, I think what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'll put a piece of sheet styrene across here to replace what I cut out. And then coming off of here, I'll mount a couple of braces. And what those braces will do is they'll come up front, like they'll be in like this, like my two fingers are right now. If you can see that. Trying to do this so people can see what's on the camera can be rather difficult. I've still got to trim away a little bit for clearance issues back here, and I might have to move it back just a little bit. As close as I can tell, the leading edge of the front tire should be just behind the front of the fender. Okay, and obviously even from side to side. But if I can get that to mount in the rear back here, and then with two braces in the front, I think I should be good to go. Now, as for the parts of the kit that mount there, like this is the one that goes in the rear, underneath the rear, I'm probably going to have to cut that like right about here and just mount this part. I'm probably going to have to lose this because the motor hangs down lower. Or I might be able to cut part of that away. Well, I'll just have to see when the time comes. This whole project is going to be pretty much flying by the seat of the pants. And then I've also got to think about, once it's on, what's that going to do with like ride height and stuff. One thing that's cool is that these shocks, by depressing the springs and adding or subtracting these C-clips, which the kit came with several extras, you can raise and lower the point at which the spring hits its mount, and that'll change the ride height. So I think I'm on the right track here. The front end turned out to be much more difficult. I got to take a little bit more off this hump. And I did not want to have to come that far back. It's going to cause problems when I go to put everything together. See how far back I had to come with that? I'm not sure how I'm going to hide that. And it's pretty close on the seats too. I really like the way this kit is put together. It makes things very easy to dry fit and mock up and assemble. It's almost like they knew some gomer like me was going to be hacking it all up for RC. That's where the front seats will sit, okay? So as far as getting figures in here, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I might have to cut the knees off a couple of G.I. Joes and do it like that. But, and I think I mentioned this before, I'm going to put the doors in permanently. They're not going to open and close. I'm going to do that to give it the unibody structural strength. And that's one of my questions for you, Wayne, is you think that's a good idea? I think it'd be better to make them permanent and strong. And once that's in, you won't be able to see a lot of that down here. And with some paint and some skillful application of sheet styrene, I should be able to hide most of that. But like I said, for my driver and any passenger on there, I might have to cut him off at the knees, but he should be pretty well camouflaged. You know, you don't really see down in there that much, especially when the thing's in action. But I'm thinking if, I can see this is, the rear wheels are really dropping down even from the little amount of weight I've added. But like I said, the shocks are adjustable, so that should be good to go. These are, and again, I have to be able to get all this stuff out so that I can shorten those control arms. But those aren't going to be a problem. I've already got one of the mill hands excited about the project, and he's willing to help. And again, I'll just be taking these and duplicating these right here. I'll just use 1/4 inch thick or 6mm aluminum flat bar, and basically all I got to do once I get it to the right length, I got to have a notch in this end with a hole going through it, and a notch in this end with a hole going through it, and that shouldn't really be any problem. I might go ahead and mill it out and put the lightning holes in it after I'm done. We'll just have to see. But I'll end up with shorter control arms, and then that also becomes a worry with ride height and shock length and all that crap. So like I said, flying by the seat of our pants. So that's where we're at right now. I'm hoping you'll see something I'm missing or have an idea that I haven't thought of or something. But I think on the whole, it's going to be pretty cool when it's done. All right, that's it. See you next time.